When you play certain games, some can manage to stick with you for a good while. You might not play them all the time, but you always somehow end up coming back to them. For me, that game is Risk of Rain. For those uninitiated, Risk of Rain is a pretty simple game. You are one of 12 playable characters who are on a cargo ship which just crashed on an alien planet due to an entity striking with a sword. You try to find the teleporter in each level to get away from this alien planet. It's a 2D action game where everything tries to kill you. So you try to use the cargo of the ship which has fallen off and power yourself up to be able to be this one-man army and tear through the planet's inhabitants. You feel like this incredible super soldier, being able to handle an entire planet just on your own. So it's like a power fantasy. It's like Serious Sam or Doom. Well, that's the thing. That couldn't be further away from the truth. While I love the gameplay of Risk of Rain, one of the main reasons I adore this game to bits is the setting of it. The developers have done a tremendous job of crafting a vague yet intriguing world. And what really makes it are the descriptions and the music. Because you see, the game has a twist, it doesn't hide it from you. It's there in plain sight, you just have to look for it and think a little. I found it after completing the game. There is a credit sequence where you can see the name of every enemy. I suppose since there were so few people working on the game, they wanted to be cute and add the enemies as well, which I do appreciate. A distinct enemy caught my attention, and that enemy was called Child. Nothing more. Simply Child. It's an interesting name for an enemy. It doesn't even sound like a monster. Curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to read a bit about the enemies. And that was the moment to discover the true colors of Risk of Rain. When you kill an enemy, there is a chance that a monster log may drop. These are little notes which feature artwork of the enemies and some insight from what is believed to be the first character you can play as, the commando. It's here that you discover that these children you have been so mercilessly slaughtering are in reality just innocent adolescent spirits. They play with rocks and other children and do no harm. That is until they see you. Then they suddenly get the urge to kill you and just won't stop chasing you. This is a recurring trend. The lizard-like enemy, the Lemurians, are seen dancing and singing, until you came into their sight. They even wear armor showing signs of intelligence. Why would they attack you out of such primitive instincts? The golems, which start to crush you to death in-game, are described as gentle to other wildlife and even plays with them. One of the first bosses has a description of gentle protector. And the more and more you look into it, this planet's inhabitants looks awfully peaceful and even more defensive. But as soon as they see you, it's almost like something beyond their control is driving them to attack you. The main protagonist must kill them to survive, but it seems it's a conflict that no part would actually like to partake in. The monster logs also give a perspective of how the main character thinks of all this. Safe to say you do start to feel bad for the poor bastard after reading them. This planet seems to be really peaceful, as I said, but you just being there is disrupting the peace. Inanimate objects are coming to life just despite this guy. Not only that, the commando must kill the children, as I've said, and then after that, their grieving parents discover the corpses and try to kill you. And then you have to kill their parents in self-defense, as you can't reason with them. All of these happenings leave an impression on the commando, and you can see it in the Gup monster log, where he states, "When I encountered this gelatinous beast, I was assailed by a sweet smell. A strangely fruity scent. Oh, how it brings back to a more innocent time. As I struck the congealed blimp of a creature, it divided and seemed to gain energy. And with each blow more of the saccharine odor escaped the monster. I must admit, I may have been a bit overzealous in my attack." Besides the impressive vocabulary, you can tell that this plan's real take on toll on him. He's not just killing to survive, but now in just barbaric instincts. He's on a planet which is slowly making him lose his humanity, and you have no company except attack drones and whatever hell these adorable bunch of pixels are. When he eventually kills the final boss, the one who got him into all of this, the one who killed everyone on board the cargo ship, The commando feels like he has made a huge mistake. He feels grief. Doesn't help that the boss leaves you with quotes such as, "You monster, what are you?" or "Host, what?" When you start to look at the contents of the cargo ship, you see that there is a lot of unethical stuff on board. Sure, there are teddy bears and personal gifts, but there are also missiles, laser guns, a rotting foot, a severed head, drugs and embryo shrimps, mines, developers' foot, money, explosives, Gordon best friend, gold war, blood drones, miracle, fishing blats, and a knife? Seems like the delivery company is making a huge profit of war and conflict. Many theorize that the entity that made the ship crash land was trying to stop the lethal cargo from reaching their destination. The worst part is that the commando may not even be connected to the company. As far as we know, he was just hired to guard the cargo, and yet he is the one suffering all of this. Playing the game after knowing all of this puts a different perspective on things. The enemies you are killing in self-defense are not evil, and the items from the cargo you now use to survive should have never been transported. You feel a bit bad, until adrenaline takes over your body and you're swarmed with enemies on all sides, thinking only about surviving, and all the knowledge gets forgotten until the conflict is over. The music reflects this incredibly well. Chris Christodoulou has crafted both music, which is ambient and even somber. You're in a beautiful garden with this amazing backdrop, and you're killing children and their parents. It makes the knowledge of the horrors all that more impactful when you have this in the background. But when you activate the teleporter, everything homes in on you and there's no time to think. It's kill or be killed, and you're certainly not the one going to die tonight. After conflict, corpses of all your enemy are littered around. The action-filled music keeps playing. You just committed mass genocide and you don't even have the time to think about it. You just gotta keep advancing. The most notable part of all this is that nothing is really shoved into your face. If you keep playing without really looking at the logs or the context of the game, then it can just be mercenaries killing aliens with high-octane music. But if you take the time to read between the lines, then you'll see a setting which has intrigued me for so many years. I'm really excited to see what Hoppoo does with the sequel, and I can't wait to experience it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a cozy evening.
Boss, you killed a child. Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best.